History often remembers the villains, the men who dictated its course with blood and fire. But what about the ones who tried to stop them? The lone figures, the unknown names, the assassins who almost changed everything? This is the story of a carpenter, a bomb maker, a man who came closer than most to killing Adolf Hitler. This is the story of Georg Elser. Georg Elser was not a soldier. He was not a general. He was a man of wood and iron, a craftsman with no army, no allies. He had no orders, no government backing. What he had was time and patience and a conviction so strong he was willing to risk everything for it. It was 1938. Germany stood at the edge of war. Hitler's voice echoed through the cities, promising power, dominance, and destruction. Many cheered, some feared, few acted, but Elser watched and knew. If Hitler was not stopped, millions would die. And so he made a decision. A simple one, a brutal one. Adolf Hitler must die. Munich, the Burgerbräu-Keller, a beer hall steeped in history. Every year on November 8th, Hitler returned here to deliver his speech, commemorating the failed beer hall putsch of 1923. It was predictable, ritualistic, a weakness, and Elser saw his chance. For weeks, he became a ghost within those walls. He posed as a loyal patron, slipping into the hall after hours, hiding in the shadows. With stolen tools, he began his work. Each night, he carved a hollow into a pillar behind the speaker's podium, a cavity just large enough to hold a bomb, a time bomb, one set to detonate in the precise moment Hitler stood before it. He built it alone. No blueprints, no assistance, just his mind, his skill, and his will. An intricate timer, a chemical detonator. It was a masterpiece of sabotage. When it was finished, he said it. November 8th, 1939, 9:20 p.m. The bomb would go off, and Hitler would die. But history moves in strange ways. A decision, small, arbitrary, but catastrophic. That night, Hitler changed his schedule. A sudden need to return to Berlin early. His speech shortened. He left the hall at 9:07 p.m., 13 minutes before the explosion. At 9:20 p.m., the bomb detonated. The room erupted into chaos. Wood splintered, metal twisted. A fireball ripped through the air. A scene of devastation. But the target was gone. 8 were killed, dozens injured. But Hitler walked away untouched. Fate had intervened. A dictator had survived. And now the hunt was on. Elser tried to flee, but fate was not done with him. He was caught at the Swiss border, carrying wire cutters, suspicious diagrams, and detonator parts. He was arrested, interrogated, beaten. He never broke. Even as the Gestapo tortured him, even as he faced death, he never denied what he had done. He had acted alone. He had no regrets. He spent 5 years imprisoned, 5 years knowing he had come closer than almost anyone to stopping a war before it consumed the world. But the Nazi machine had no mercy. On April 9th, 1945, just 1 month before the war in Europe ended, orders came from Berlin. Elser was taken from his cell, led to the execution yard at Dachau. A single gunshot, and history's ghost was silenced. What if Hitler had died that night in Munich? What if a carpenter had changed the world? We do not know. We will never know. Because sometimes history is decided by the smallest things, in this case by just a few minutes.